welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for today's video. It is going to be a book haul. So recently I posted a books outside of my comfort zone Amazon haul, which was all books in genres that like I don't typically read. And it's really funny, when I started like this booktube journey, if you will, I thought in my head I was like, I like romances, but I like to just like sprinkle them in here or there. And like we're like 2-3 months in now and I'm like, okay, clearly like romance is my favorite genre. So anyway, I recently posted a books outside my comfort zone haul. I'll leave that link below in case you're interested in checking it out. But there are still 13 other books that I either purchased off Amazon or purchased from Barnes & Noble, or my mom and I were at Target and we got a couple books as well. So I have 13 books that I purchased recently, and I thought I would just do another book haul for you. So that is what I'm bringing you today. Normally I don't film in front of my desk for my book channel, but I'm filming for my beauty channel today and I was too lazy to like move my camera setup. So I'm coming to you in front of my desk today. Anyway, if you're interested in seeing the 13 more books that I have recently purchased and to add to my bookshelf, to my book collection, stay tuned. First, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel and you like bookish content, I hope you'll consider subscribing before moving on. I will also leave my beauty channel link down below if you like beauty content. Other than that, let's jump into the... Okay, I'm gonna try and go in order that I did that like super aggressively, like try and go. I'm gonna try and go in order that I purchased these books. At least this is like the order I think I purchased them. But towards the beginning of October, I finally read The Deal by Elle Kennedy, which is the first book in the Off-Campus series. And I loved that book. It was exactly what I needed for like that moment of my life. Like I just needed like a fluffy, feel-good romance, and I loved that book. I already had the second book in the series, The Mistake, but after reading that book I instantly went onto Amazon and ordered the, I thought, final 2 books in the series, but I feel like there might be a 5th book. But I ordered The Goal and The Score, which are actually a really, really good price on Amazon, better price than like Barnes & Noble. So I ordered both of these, have both of these. I thought I was gonna end up reading The Mistake in October, but I didn't get around to it. So I do plan to read that book in November and possibly these as well. But I just wanted to have them because I'm excited to read them. Okay, then I feel like I was watching like YouTube recommendations for like YouTube, like spicy, like I was searching on YouTube, spicy book recommendations, I think. And I cannot remember who I saw recommend Credence by Penelope Douglas, but it sounds super taboo and I haven't really read a lot of like taboo books, but I was like, you know what? I'm in the mood for this one. So I went to Barnes & Noble to pick up Credence by Penelope Douglas, and while I was there I also picked up The Roommate. I have seen this like every single time I'm at Barnes & Noble. I walk by this and like it's just like popping out on the shelf, and I'm like, for some reason I've always felt like the cover just looks like it, in my head I'm like, I don't feel like this is gonna be a good book. But I've heard so many people talk about this recently, and I believe this is a series as well. It sounds like a really fun book. It's somebody who's like in like the sex industry, and then I want to say the girl is either like a virgin or like maybe like a prude, and they end up being roommates for one reason or another. I'm like not super familiar with what this is about, but this is what I know. And I believe it turns into a romance, I believe. We'll see. I'm super excited about this one too. I heard the spice in this is good as well, so I'm very excited about both of these. Okay, and then I cannot remember. So the Shatter Me series, I've gone like back and forth on and back and forth on and back and forth on whether or not I feel like I should purchase it, whether or not I feel like it'll work for me. I keep feeling like I need to like dabble in fantasy, but then every time a fantasy book is like on my TBR, I don't read it. I feel like I'm afraid. I can't remember why I decided, but I was watching a video and for some reason I decided after watching that video it was time for me to go get at least the first book in the Shatter Me series so I could make a decision for myself on whether or not the series was going to work for me. I also believe this is YA, so I think it'll read a little bit faster than some other books. I could be wrong, but I did pick up the first book in the Shatter Me series, and then while I was at Barnes & Noble picking this up, I decided, why the heck not get Caraval. This is something I've had my eye on for a while, and I was like, you know what, I'm in here buying a different fantasy book. Why not get 2 fantasy books? Because that's just the way my brain works. I think this is also YA, so I'm hoping that this reads fast as well. For some reason, this was giving me like Night Circus vibes the first time I read the back of this book before I had heard really anything about this book. I don't know if it's similar to Night Circus at all, but it was giving me the vibes of Night Circus, so I picked this one up as well. It seems I can't go to Barnes & Noble and just get one thing or nothing. It has to be 2+. You know, actually I am looking at this, and with the exception of one purchase, I seem to buy my books in at least 2s. Okay, so next up, I was ordering the Addicted for Now book off of Amazon. I actually am just starting Ricochet today, and I want to read at least one book from the Addicted Calloway Sisters series per month. And I read the entire Magnolia Parks series last month in October. I'm actually filming this on, I think it's October 28th, so I'm still in October, but I don't plan to post this video until November. But I read the entire Magnolia Parks series in October, and I feel just lost without, like, I feel like I became friends with the books. Like, I feel like I became friends with the characters from Magnolia Parks, and I just feel lost now that like I don't have another book currently to read. I'm so excited for the next book to come out. Fell in love with the series. So I also love the Addicted Calloway Sister series. The series kind of makes me feel the same as I feel when I'm reading Magnolia Parks, in that it just like truly feels like you're like a part of the friend group. So I knew I was gonna read Ricochet, and I knew I needed the Addicted for Now, the next book, 3rd book in the Addicted series. So I decided to go on Amazon and order this. And while I was on Amazon, I wanna say The King of Wrath by Anna Huang was recommended to me. This is the first book in a new series she is starting. I believe it's the 7 Deadly Sins series, and I believe there will be 7 books. I could be wrong. Sometimes I speak without knowledge of these things, but I'm super excited about this. I have not yet read any of the Twisted books. I do have Twisted Love on my November TBR, and I'm very excited to start that. And I don't know why I decided to just pick this up on a whim, but I was like, oh, she's starting a new series. Perfect. I'm definitely gonna like it. So here I am with The King of Wrath. I feel like I've seen very mixed reviews on this book as well, but it's like a billionaire CEO, like romance, steamy vibes. I'm like, this just sounds, even if it's like surface level, that's like what I need right now. That's what my life needs. I don't need anything too deep, so I'm also very excited about these two. All right, then the only time I purchased a single book, I was at Target with my mom. We were trying to hit a certain amount for like our Target Circle coupon, and she was like, do you want a book? And I was like, always. So I decided to pick up The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. This has been on my wish list for a little bit now. It just sounds like a really cute book. I personally am obsessed with football. Love it so much. Like Mondays, Thursdays, Sundays, you'll catch me watching all of the games. Huge Vikings fan, but also just like I love football so much. So I was like, you know what? A football romance, I'm all about it. I'm not the best at explaining books, and I haven't really talked about many of the books in this video, so I'm not gonna give an effort to say much about this other than I know it's an NFL romance, and I'm here for it. And it's also like a shorter book, so I feel like this is perfect for me right now. All right, then my next set of 2, another Amazon order. I have heard so many people talking about Indigo Ridge, is it Indigo Ridge and Juniper Hill? Those 2 books, and I was like, I'm interested. So I went onto Amazon to order Indigo Ridge, and this is actually, like, looking at this, I'm like, okay, the font is not too small, so we like a bigger font, and it is only like just over 300 pages. It is part of a series. I want to say there's gonna be like 6 or 7 books. I don't really know a whole lot more about this other than it's like a small town romance, I believe. Very excited to give this a go. Love to start a new romance series. Love it so much. And then while I was on Amazon, I was like, I clearly can't just buy 1 book, I have to buy 2. So I picked up Icebreaker because I can't find this in Barnes & Noble. I don't think it's available at Barnes & Noble, and I keep hearing all about this, and I've had it like in my Amazon cart for a bit now, and I keep like going to Barnes & Noble thinking it's finally going to be in Barnes & Noble and I'm going to be able to buy it, and then it's not. Like, I don't know if it's ever going to be available at Barnes & Noble, so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to purchase this. I live in Minnesota. We're like the hockey state, even though the Minnesota Wild haven't been doing that well this year. But I'm like, you know what, November, December, perfect time for me to read an ice hockey romance. I've heard this is steamy. I'm all about it. I have, you know, my off-campus series. We've got so many hockey romances to read the next few months. And then finally, my last 2 books I picked up in Barnes & Noble. I was just like needing a Barnes & Noble run just to like even just walk around. Sometimes I'll just literally walk around in Barnes & Noble, but I feel like similar to Sephora, it feels like or Target, feels like I can't walk out without buying anything. Does anyone else feel the same way? So I walked by this and I have heard nothing about this book. And I will say lately, I feel like I've only been buying like books that I'm hearing all this stuff about, which is fine. But sometimes it's nice to find like a little gem that you have not heard anything about. Now this is a new release, so that could be why I haven't heard a ton about it. But this is called Thank You for Listening by Julia Whelan. And Taylor Jenkins Reid blurbed it. Taylor Jenkins Reid, one of my favorite authors. I'm like, okay, if she's gonna blurb it, I'm all about it. I will read about this one just because I feel like maybe you've also not heard anything about this, but it says for Sawani? For Sawani Chester, being an audiobook narrator is a long way from her old dreams, and the days of being a star on film sets are long behind her. She's found success and satisfaction from the inside of a sound booth. When she arrives in Las Vegas last minute for a book convention, Sawani unexpectedly spends a whirlwind night with a charming stranger. Okay, pausing for a minute. I literally love Las Vegas so much. I try and go at least once a year. I'm obsessed. So anything to do with Las Vegas, I'm here for it. And then a one-night stand with a charming stranger. I mean, that just sounds like a great time. Then Sawani discovers one of the world's most beloved romance novelists wanted her to perform her last book. With Brock McKnight, the industry's hottest, most secretive voice, Sawani doesn't buy what romance novels are selling, not after her own dreams were tragically cut short. Her admiration of the late author changes her mind, though, and resurrecting her old romance pseudonym, she and Brock forge a real connection. Hidden behind the comfort of I can't say this word, anonymity. Hidden behind being anonymous. I don't know why. I literally just, I know what the word is. I cannot say it out loud. Soon she is dreaming again, but when secrets are revealed and the realities of life come crashing down around her once more, can she learn to risk everything for desires she has long buried? Sounds like a good time. I'm actually very excited about this. Plus it's a pink cover, and like, honestly, who can deny a pink cover? And clearly I felt like buying pink covers in 2 because I also purchased By a Thread by Lucy Score. I am really interested in reading, it's the blue book with the flowers, why can I not think of, and she's coming out with a second book in that like series now. I really want to read that, but it's cheaper to purchase that on Amazon, so I decided to purchase this in store because it's about the same in Barnes & Noble as it is on Amazon. And I also had this in my Amazon cart to purchase because this sounds like a really fun romance. It's about I believe this gal gets fired. She worked in a pizza shop and then she gets fired, and then she gets hired by the guy that's the reason she gets fired. Like, I'm giving you nothing, but like, it just sounds like a really fun book. This is a longer one. It is over 500 pages, but I'm excited about it because I've heard good things about this one as well. All right, and then after that, that is my book haul. Here's my stack of books. We've got plenty to read, plenty to keep us busy through the cold winter months here in Minnesota. I would love your book recommendations down below though. What should I be picking up next? What should I be reading? Are there any of these that you want to like hear my thoughts about? Are there any of these you think I should read first? Are there any of these that you're like, girl, that's not a good book, like leave that on the shelf and don't even crack the cover? Let me know in the comments below. Other than that, thank you so much for sticking around to watch today's video and for supporting my channel. As you guys always do, I love you guys so much, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.